Game 2 of the KCL doubleheader between the Ground Sauce and the Blue Caps. I'll pass it to Braden Hartman and Leo Romano as they'll take the play-by-play and color commentary.
Appreciate it, Alex. Great to be back with you here at the Corn Crib for Game 2 of a KCL doubleheader. This one between the Ground Sloths and the Blue Caps.
Both teams ready to get going here. Leading off is going to be Logan Rosenthal, the center fielder, here for the Ground Sloths. Ground Sloths coming off a big win the other night. Takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball one, and we are underway here from the Corn Crib.
Logan Rosenthal calls the Corn Crib home year-round as a member of the Heartland Community College Hawks.
Next pitch fouled off. Back to the backstop, and that moves the count to 1-1.
Hirschberger is your starter for the Blue Caps, pitching in his 5th game of the season.
Hirschberger comes set. He's a right-handed pitcher. Off-speed misses away for ball 2. Hirschberger from Spoon River College, as Leo mentioned, hometown kid, as that next pitch is fouled off to the left side. It'll even the count at 2. Hirschberger, he's got a sign. The 2-2 to Rosenthal. Dribble over there to third. Fielded cleanly. Throw across the diamond just in time. Nice play over there by the third baseman, Montgomery.
Montgomery does an excellent job ranging over to make the play and then throws across his body, kind of like Nolan Arenado, firing a strike over to Eisfelder at first base.
That one took a lot of body control, and that's going to bring up Andrew Wagner, who will take his first at-bat against Hirschberger. He'll do so with 1 out. The first pitch to Wagner. Off-speed from Hirschberger. Drops in there for a strike. That's a slider for strike 1.
An excellent first pitch of this at-bat. Andrew Wagner, a dangerous hitter out of Effingham High School in Effingham, Illinois.
Next pitch, ripped foul to the left side. Hirschberger going right at Wagner, and Wagner was a little ahead of that one. He drives it foul to the left side. It's now 0-2.
A bit early on a guy like Hirschberger means that you're ready. Hirschberger throws a fast fastball.
Will he go with that fastball here? He does, and gets him swinging. And kind of a half swing for Wagner. Great pitch from Hirschberger. Gets him with the high heat.
Really easy on that high heater to think about it and not fully commit to it. And Wagner does exactly that, as he's tonight's first victim via the strikeout.
So he's got 2 outs now fairly quickly, and Andrew Dawson will try to prolong this inning as he'll step in. First pitch to him, fouled off right behind the backstop, was just under it.
Andrew Dawson playing in the field today. Typically a right-handed pitcher out of Draymont, Illinois, attending Valparaiso University. Really good baseball team.
Slider right over to the shortstop. He's got it. Throws over to first in time. And a clean inning for Hirschberger. He'll step off the mound feeling good about himself. After the first inning, top of the first, your score is 0-0. The Ground Sloths will take the field, and the Blue Caps will get their first chance. We'll introduce the pitcher coming up next. Leading off for the Blue Caps is going to be Drew Ward. And on the mound for the ground slots is Austin White. He's a right-hander who also attends Spoon River College. He'll step on the mound from Mahomet, Illinois. First pitch from White is a fastball called strike one. Maybe a little bit generous on that first pitch as Ward had to kind of back off a little bit, but it is called a strike, and he'll start this count 0-1. His next one goes with the off speed. This pitch is hit high and deep to left. It has the distance, but it will go foul. And that will take sigh of relief for White out there as that ball was absolutely crushed.
The former Sacred Heart Griffin ripped that one, but was a little bit ahead of White's pitch.
Next one will get away from the catcher, but it will result in the strike. It'll be 1-2.
Ward playing in center field today out of Illinois Wesleyan.
The 1-2 bounces over to the backstop. Nice pitch. Couldn't get Ward to swing, though, so it moves the count to 2-2. Nice pitch there. White gets Ward swinging. That's his first strikeout of the day, and the first batter he sees. So that'll add one out to the tally. And next up is going to be Griffin Meeker. He's playing shortstop today. Coming up to Fetty Wap. Fastball up and in for ball one.
Meeker already getting it done in the field, retiring Dawson in the top half of the first.
This ball's ripped over to third, fielded cleanly, strong throw over there, and he does get him for the second out. Nice little play there by Andrew Dawson. Had to put a little extra on it, but did have him by plenty. And both pitchers working quickly in this first inning. White now finds himself with 2 outs and limited number of pitches. And Michael Lucas will step up to the plate, one of the more dangerous hitters for the Blue Caps. First pitch he sees, fastball in there. He's going right at him.
You mentioned Dawson's throw over to first being an absolute laser there, and it only makes sense as he also works on the mound every now and then.
Another fastball right down the middle. White wasting no time moving the count to 0-2.
Getting ahead in the count is crucial for these KCL pitchers.
Swing and a miss. Strike three, gets away from the catcher. It's going to be tough. And he falls down, unfortunately. And he might kind of grimaced at the end there. So as the strikeout got away, maybe more of the issue here is going to be the health of Tyler Cerna. The pitch got away to his right. He picked it up and wasn't able to turn around, and maybe the turf monster got him a little bit there.
It sure did. And drop third strikes can be huge. We saw it in Quincy not too long ago with the normal Corn Belters as Veracruz beat out a ball to first, ended up sending in the game-winning run.
Nice move by White. Attempted to pick him off first and kind of panicked over there was Lucas. But he does get back safely. He'll face Braden Montgomery here. His first pitch goes right back with the fastball. It does miss low, though. So can't start how he started the last at-bat. He does start with a ball. Next one, right at him with a fastball. Saws him off the right side of the field. It will land foul. Can the right fielder make a play? What an effort. He cannot quite make the catch. But Andrew Wagner out there and right put everything into trying to make a play there. Just couldn't quite get it. He was a few inches too short.
I mean, just about a foot away from being on SportsCenter tonight.
Laid out fully with the Superman dive, but could not quite haul it in. Landed just in front of him. And Wyke will have to settle for the strike out of that situation. The 1-1 pitch hangs it a little bit. This is driven in the air to left, Very playable, though. Under it is a left fielder out there. He'll make the catch. Nice play by Sochanek to track that baseball. So after one, no score and not a whole lot of action. But pitchers look to be absolutely dialed tonight. We'll go to the second inning. We'll see if it's a little more of the same. We'll be back in just a moment. Second inning getting underway here. We are joined by Alex Ferens, who's going to join us for the rest of the way. It'll be a three-man crew as the first pitch misses for ball one.
Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you joining us.
Definitely a pleasure. Sochanek is going to step in for the ground slots. For his first at-bat, ripped in the air to center. That one's laced, but it is right at the center fielder out there for the Blue Caps. Drew Ward, he will make the play. Just had to move a couple steps to his left. A very nice piece from Sochanek, though.
Hirschberger looks really comfortable early retiring the first four batters. And now he'll face Tyler Cerna.
Brings in Cerna. First pitch to him. Nice slider from Hirschberger. Gets him swinging. Cerna kind of just waved at it. So far in KCL action this year, he's batting .364 and has 4 hits. All 4 of them are singles. Next pitch from Hirschberger. Same pitch. This time he was on it. He drives it into left for a base hit. And Cerna will be aboard to start this top half of the second.
Cerna got a good piece of that one. Ripped it right over Montgomery at third.
Definitely learned his lesson. The first one was the same pitch and around the same spot, but this time he sat back and he drove it, pulled it to the left side of the field. Andrew Zimmerman will step in for the ground slots. He has a runner on first.
No Fetty Wap for him.
His first pitch. Up and away fastball called. Strike one. Alex, what is your favorite Fetty Wap song? I don't know how fluent you are in that, but if you had a favorite, what would it be?
Can't say I'm the most well-versed. I'll go 1738.
Okay. I'm trying to think. The next pitch is a fastball in there for strike two. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I'll get back to you.
Leo, any for you?
Can't say I'm too familiar with his work, but Off your point at 17:38.
That pitch is high, and it's 1-2 now as he took a little bit off that one and missed high. It's now 1-2 to Zimmerman.
And I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. That ball was high and inside.
Got to be careful. Copyright strike is coming for you, Leo, with that beautiful voice.
The Eureka native down in a 1-2 count. Slider fought off to the right side, and Zimmerman will stay alive.
Zimmerman, not an easy out as he fouls that one off with a runner on first.
Spent my time prepping these two teams. I should have been listening to my Fetty Wap discography.
I think that's the term. Yeah, maybe. Slider hung that one, driven into center. It's going to be a tough play. He'll make it on the run. And it is caught out there in center. Nice play out there by the Blue Cap center fielder Ward again. He's fielded 2 today. He'll toss that one back in, and it's now 2 outs.
Yeah, he's been busy in this second inning, squeezing that ball like a trap queen. Is that a Fetty Wap song?
Yeah, got to be.
Wow.
Braden Whitty.
Good pull. I think it's his most famous song.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite if I had to pick one, I guess. But that's so, generic, though. That first pitch is fouled off behind the plate. Moves the count to 0-1. Hirschberger working quickly and effectively.
Braden Windy at the dish from the area and attends Knox College.
Next pitch, a slider. And I think he's going to say that it hit Windy. Windy didn't move eventually. Eventually did, so I don't think he felt that one enough to maybe take first, but he will take first, so it's going to be first and second for the ground slots. Maybe an unfortunate break for the Blue Caps pitcher Hirschberger.
Very unusual, Braden, to see a hit by pitch and for the batter not to recognize it.
Yeah, it must have, I guess, maybe the umpire thought it caught him on a sleeve or something, maybe, I don't know, but he definitely didn't feel it because he looked over to his dugout to get a sign and was not moving. First pitch, Hirschberger comes back with a fastball.
Umpires today wearing red shirts to offset the KCL jersey combination, doing their best Jake from State Farm impersonations.
Gerdes from SWIC, Winona native. His next pitch, this one's hit in the air. It's going to be shallow left center fielder. And the shortstop for the Blue Caps, Griffin Meeker, will move on over to his right, make that play, and end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of 2. The score remains 0-0. bottom of the second action. About ready to get going here. As next up for the Blue Caps leading off this half of the inning will be Caleb Hornbrook, who's doing the designated hitting today. He's the fifth batter in this one. The first inning, we saw Wyke strike out 3 in a row. It was unfortunately one of the pitches was too good for their catcher as it bounced away, but he does get the pop out on the next one.
Ernie Banks once said, what a beautiful day. Let's play 2. How about 3? The third game at the Corn Crib today after a Corn Belters game this morning. We almost had 4 before a postponement.
Commissioner decided that the Corn Belters game from yesterday, since it had gone 5 innings, could be classified as a full game. So it was a weird one because in that one, that's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball ripped over to short. Fielded cleanly, this will be routine. Fires it over to first in time for the first out. As I was saying, in that game yesterday for the Corn Belters, the Thrillbillies of Thrillville went up in that bottom of half of that inning with a home run to take the lead, but right after the lightning delay, and then because of the fact that they didn't finish that top half of the inning, they would resort back to the previous one where the Corn Belters had the lead, so they get the win in that book. But they did get beat today in unfortunate fashion, as that first pitch is in there for strike 1 against Tice Beckman.
Safe to say they weren't thrilled about the ruling.
You're all over it with the
Thrillbillies, not thrilled. No, not in the slightest. We had the chance to talk to Corn Belters manager Billy DuBois after that second game, as that one is in there for strike 3.
Strike 3, another strikeout. And he will walk back to the dugout, and coming back in his place is going to be Josh Eisfelder. He'll have to do his hitting with 2 outs.
What do you have to say, Leo, when you talk to Billy?
He would have bet his house on the game today, in a game that the Corn Belters would end up losing, giving up 7 in the top half of the 9th, walked in a few runs, and then the grand slam off of a Thrillbillies bat pretty much ended the game in the top half of the 9th.
He would have wagered his house for or against the Corn Belters?
4, of course.
First pitch from Wyke. Eisfelder had to lean back on for ball 1, but the next one is fouled off to the right side for a strike, and it's now 1-1.
That's a good thing he didn't, Leo, although we have a cow trim if he needs.
Next pitch, another one up and in. That one he had to duck on.
Eisfelder's got to be careful there. Almost caught a piece of his bat. You don't see that often when a pitch goes above the head and hits the barrel, but it'll happen. And
next pitch, just misses outside. A fastball moves the count to 3-1. We've seen one of those happen one time. I think a couple weeks ago, a KCL batter didn't bring their bat down and hit the bat and landed just in fair territory on the left side. Swing and a miss. Wyke comes back with another fastball, moves the count to full, and he's a strike away from ending this half of the inning. The pitch, high fastball. Not a competitive pitch, is an easy take for Eisfelder. He'll also take first, and that is going to bring up the next batter. It's going to be Grayson Schneerly.
I have a question for you guys. Typically, a 3-2 pitch, we call it the payoff pitch. I want you guys to think of a new term for that, and we'll get back to that when we return.
First pitch from Wyke up and in. Schneerly started to offer but did hold back. It'll be ball 1. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. It's a good question, though.
Wow, if the Sauk Valley stalwart himself doesn't have an answer, I don't know how I'm going to pull one out.
Oh my gosh.
Get to the drawing board on that one.
The 0-1 swung on and missed by Schneerly. Took a big hack at that one. It was a way fastball. Trying to pull it. Not going to usually go in your favor. He'll miss this one completely. It's now 1-1.
Kind of late on that pretty slow swing.
Next one. Got him swinging. And Wyke rolling through this Blue Caps lineup. He'll take a seat, and Hirschberger will step back onto the mound. We'll go to the top of the third. Your score remains tied at 0-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Sir led off with a single.
I'll just keep it at those two then, whatever.
Starting this top half of the third. Your score remains 0-0. Leading off for the ground sloths. Hirschberger in there. To start this top half of the third, Josh Bass will do the hitting in this one. Bottom of the order in the 9th spot. Playing first today. Dangerous hitter, though. He's been struggling as of late as he bounces one over the third, and Montgomery can't handle it as that one goes into left field. That's going to go down as an error, the first error of this ball game. As I was saying, Josh Bass, we know he can hit, but he has struggled a little bit with the bat, so finds himself at the bottom of the lineup, maybe trying to get more fastballs. He gets one there. He drives it to the left side of the field, and Montgomery can't handle it, so he'll stay at first.
Uncharacteristic of Montgomery. Usually the best glove in the field, playing the hot corner. Had trouble with that one.
Hirschberger deals strike in there to the now top right back at the top of the order, Rosenthal. And Rosenthal will start this count 0-1. Swings lefty, which will come in handy against the righty Hirschberger. Next one goes with a slider. Dribbled over to Meeker at short. He'll throw to second for one. They will not have enough time to get Rosenthal at first, but Bass out at second on the fielder's choice, and a very productive out for the Blue Caps.
Braden, I have to ask you, as we see the Blue Caps respond to the error, as a devastating right-handed reliever yourself back in your day, how did you respond to an error out in the field? Is it just put it by you?
Well, as I say, you kind of got to have a short memory of a goldfish. I think they said that in Ted Lasso, right? Got to have the memory of a goldfish. Got to be able to step back on the mound, do your job, and if you're doing everything you can do to produce positive outcomes, that's ripped into left field for a base hit from Wagner. It'll be first and second for the ground sloths. Nice piece of hitting there from Wagner. But yeah, I would say for Hirschberger after an error, obviously that wasn't really that devastating of one. It's hard hit ball, tough play regardless, but stepping back on the mound, doing your job, and usually if you're doing your job well, others will follow. So Wagner gets a single down the left side of the field. Now bring Andrew Dawson to hit with runners on first and second. Just one out. He's got a big hole on the left side of the field. He'll hit it that way. Fielded cleanly. Thrown to second for one. And on the transfer, I don't know if I agree with that call, but he will be out regardless. So the ball was hit to Montgomery over there at third. He threw it to second. and he made the catch, and on the way of taking it out of his glove to throw to first potentially, he lost it. The base umpire did call it safe at first because he ruled that he had dropped it, which I don't think I agree with necessarily. I think it was on the transfer, but Meeker was able to tag him anyway, and that produced the out. So now with 2 outs, the runners will be at the corners, and Sochanek just missed one in his last at-bat, will step up looking to do damage. Hirschberger goes with the slider in the first pitch, misses 1-0. See if the runner from first will be in motion here. And he will. Fastball hit into center field. That's going to get down. It's going to score the first run of the game for the ground sloth. The throw goes to third. It will be not in time from center fielder Ward. And they will all trade places with each other. It's going to be running at the corners again. Nice piece of hitting from Sochanek. Goes right back up the middle. He's got an RBI single.
Sochanek takes advantage of the fastball down the middle and ropes it into center, racking up the first RBI of the contest.
Here comes Dave Lingle to the mound as the infield joins him on the hill.
Lingle wearing neon green shoes. I can't say I've noticed those before as he walks out on the mound. Similar to the catcher Beckman, who is wearing neon orange shoes.
Oh, man, once you notice them, are they hard to miss?
He's repping them all the time, too, and I'll tell you what, not many guys can pull that off. He does a tremendous job of it.
Definitely fits the personality of Dave Lingle. Always likes to have fun at the ballpark. It is a fun sport, and it's all for fun at the end of the day. So you love to see people showing off some of their personalities through what they wear, what they use.
Braden, what was the best mound visit you ever had? Funny memory, maybe, a time?
Yeah, did a coach ever say anything to you that
Well, I will
kinda
say
resonated?
the first, I had a catcher. I obviously had a catcher who was also a freshman for my first year, and we ended up making the playoffs that year. And I had a catcher that I hadn't caught with that was awesome guy, but he would occasionally get really angry. And he was catching me in the playoffs, and I came in in relief, and I couldn't find the zone. And he goes, "Time," and walks out there. He starts screaming at me. I've never been so scared in my life. But it was like one of those things. He was like one of those
What?
guys that, as that pitch is in there for a strike, throw down to second. He's going to try for home. The throw is unfortunately high, and that's going to score a run. The ground sloths get another one, and it is now 2-0 ground sloths.
They get a stolen base out of it, too, as Sochanek moves over from first to second. But as you were saying,
As I was saying, he's the type of guy. It was more of a like, you're in here for a reason. Like, find the zone. We know who you are. And it's one of those. He's one of those guys where he's screaming at you, but you walk away and you kind of feel better about yourself, even though he's kind of tearing into you a little bit. So that's the funniest mound visit I've ever had, I think. And it was funny because it was just kind of out of the blue, and he'd never caught me before really in a game, so it caught me off guard. First pitch, next pitch to him is in the dirt for a ball. Moves the count to 1-1.
Nieves now the batter, as he was put in the top of the third.
Hirschberger trying to prevent that third run from scoring for the ground sloths. He'll miss in. And that's another miss for Hirschberger. Now 2 balls in this count.
They talk about that on the Lovable Reunion podcast, that David Ross on those 2016 Cubs was a guy who he would go in and scream at you, and you would leave weirdly feeling better about yourself.
Hirschberger looks over to second and then comes home. Misses again with a fastball. And by the way he's jumping around, you can tell that it's starting to lose it a little bit. He'll have to step back on the mound, take a breath. He will. He'll take his time to step back on this mound, rethink it, and he'll refocus. Unfortunately, has a 3-1 count to Nieves. Let's see if he can come back. He does have that base open. See what he does here. The 3-1 goes right at him with a fastball. Gets a swing and miss. Moves the count to 3-2. He's got a full count, and with one pitch, he can end this inning and prevent any further damage from occurring. He comes set, takes a deep breath, gazes over to second, comes back, and now here we go. It's a fastball fouled off by Nieves, and Hirschbrook will have to make another pitch. That one was well placed, outside fastball, just couldn't quite produce an out.
Here it is, full count. Leo, you have any better names in your back pocket you've been thinking?
I have not. I told you guys to think. I've been thinking about this one for a couple months, and I still haven't been able to produce anything.
Well, if you haven't thought about it in months, I can't imagine I can think about it in a few minutes. Is that one is going to get ruled that Nieves made contact with it, just barely, if any. Must have caught the top of his bat. He swung right under it, but he'll get another chance at this one.
How about the Moneyball?
I like that one. That's a good movie, by the way.
Great movie. One of the best.
Hirschberger. Another 3-2 pitch. Got him. Nice pitch from Hirschberger. Fooled him at the plate. Went with the curveball. Drops right in there. And he'll walk off the mound. Only giving up 2 runs. Leaves 1 in scoring position. So after this top half of the third, your score 2-0.
Before we head to a break, really quick, Hirschberger clearly lost control a little bit, then dialed back in. Braden, was there a time where you completely lost control? I know. I had a time. I remember. I was no pitcher myself.
No, I get it.
But I got the hill. I was one of those kids in Little League. You know, I could swing the bat. I played outfield, but I didn't get the ball to pitch very often. It came around once in a blue moon. So there's a tournament, you know, every man on deck, so to say.
Okay.
So I get the ball. I don't believe I got the start, but I came in relief. First pitch, spike it. Too much adrenaline, you know. I take the hill. I got a big smile. I'm happy to be pitching. Pitch number 2, spike it. Spike 7 in a row. Coach comes out, hand him the ball, and I head back to the
Dude.
I knew my night was done.
Yeah, no kidding. You playing volleyball or what? Let's hear your story, Braden.
I wasn't really a type of guy that would really lose my composure.
He
a
never
whole lot.
lost it, Leo. He was always.
He's always had it.
That's not what I mean.
on.
That is not what I mean. I'm not a really angry guy. I would say there were times where I didn't have it, and when I didn't have it, it kind of just takes a lot of, I know this is going to sound crazy, but self-talk, I would say. Mike Trout, one of those guys that would always talk about self-talk, audibly talking to yourself on the mound. Some people probably thought I was crazy, but I wasn't one of those people who talk loud. It's kind of under your breath, talking to yourself. Just be like, okay, you got it. You got to just focus on the task at hand. You got to do this, and just making sure that you're on the same page, because it can get tough when you're not able to hit the zone. It can really become frustrating because it feels like every single thing is not going your way.
Right. It feels the same way on the golf course when I'm out hitting greens.
And
I talk to my ball as if it's going to do something. It's not.
Sometimes it does. Depends on who you ask. First pitch to Luke Martin, fouled off behind the press box.
Just wait for the day the ball talks back to you, Leo. That's when you know you're really in trouble.
The 0-1 slider, nice one there. Just away, gets him to 0-2. So Martin quickly finds himself down and 1 strike away from sitting back down. Next pitch, hit in the air to right center field. This is going to be a routine play for the right fielder, Schneerly. He'll get under it, and he'll make the catch with 2 hands and fire it back in. So that'll be the first out. Blue Caps still hitless in this one. The Ground Sloths have collected 3 hits.
On the other side, you have a guy like the Ground Sloths have tonight who's just fully in the zone. Reminds me of one Mitch Romano. Perfect game for Latin High School.
Back in his glory days.
White deals a fastball low and away for strike 1. I do apologize. That right fielder is Wagner, not Schneerly. That is my mistake. 0-1 count. Next pitch from White. Inside misses for ball 1. It's 1-1.
It was a playoff game, too, that he did it in. Really impressive stuff.
White Can't quite get the off-speed pitch to come back into the zone. It looked like it might, but did not move enough to come back down, and it's now 2-1. Perhaps lost a handle on that one. Goes right in with a fastball. This is hit in the air. It's going to be between short and third, and Dawson is going to be the one that makes this catch, the third baseman, and now 2 outs quickly. And gotta say, other than that little couple mishaps in the last half inning, both pitchers have impressed me so far, working fast, effectively, attacking the hitters, saying, here it is, hit it, and they've been pretty successful, both of them so far tonight.
Yeah, Wyke's done a great job on the mound so far.
Off-speed pitch just misses up and in. That brings up the right-handed hitter Griffin Meeker. Big swing and a miss from Meeker on the second pitch. And
Now,
moves the count to 1-1.
Leo, I won't ask Braden because he just told us he was always in the zone. But you ever have a day like that on the golf course where you just can't miss?
Oh, gosh, no. I mean, I miss all the time, and it gets frustrating out there. I've done it all. I've thrown clubs. I've cried.
This ball's hit in the air, but it will just go foul to the right side. It's going to be 2-2 count now.
I actually lost my contacts once playing golf. I made an 8 on the easiest par 3 at my home course.
Slider just got a piece of it. He stayed on and he drives it into center field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting from Meeker. Sat back on that slider and flipped his hands at it and got it to go into center field for a base hit. If either of the middle infielders for the ground sloth, Gerdes or Zimmerman, were able to even dive for that one, he was still going to be safe at first.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Braden. And that's the first hit of the night for this Blue Caps lineup. And now Lucas, who reached on a drop third strike, has a chance to do some damage.
Wyke misses high with another fastball. Michael Lucas standing and playing left field today. He struck out but still reached first as the ball got away from Cerna, the ground sloth catcher. That fastball just catches the bottom of the zone for strike one. Nice frame there from Cerna to make sure that that was called a strike. I think it would have been a strike anyway, but definitely borderline. Cerna helping to make it an easier call. Goes with the slider. Nice one from Wyke. Could not get Lukic to swing, however. And it's now 2-1. Wyke picked to first. Not in time. The first baseman Bass will flip it back to him. Not a real chance. Blue Cap runner over there at first. Just barely off the bag, but body language, he does look like he might steal. Next pitch misses away, and it's 3-1. And Wyke, after working 2 quick outs, finds himself potentially at danger of walking and putting another base runner on. The 3-1 hit in the air to right center field. This is going to be a tough one, but it will be very playable, and he's got it. Out there and right is Wagner. So Wyke gets out of it and leaves a runner on base. No runs still through 3. We'll be back for top of the 4th inning action after a quick break.
Through 3 innings, a beautiful night for some KCL baseball. But before we start the 4th inning, let's take a look around the KCL. Leo?
Earlier today, the other 2 teams in the KCL, the Prairie Flamingos and the defending champions, Bobcats, squared off. Bobcats won a 6-1 thriller in a game where the Bobcats only gave up 3 hits to the Prairie Flamingos to improve to 7-2. And that's all I have for you around the KCL.
Back to you, Braden.
New pitcher in there for the Blue Caps as he fires a strike in there. Nice start to his night. Caden Addis will step on the mound. He is a lefty. Next pitch ripped up, and that'll go all the way into center field. Andrew Zimmerman on it right away. And Addis will have to recuperate after giving up a second pitch single. It was a nice piece of hitting.
Zimmerman does a beautiful job waiting on that ball and takes it up the middle for a base knock to lead things off in the top of the 4th.
Addis, Illinois Wesleyan University, product from Fairbury, Illinois. He'll look over to first, then come home. That is a ball. Kind of has a weird windup. He almost pauses. You know how Charles Barkley swings his golf club? It's like the pitching version of that. He comes set, watch. I know the viewers can't see it. That ball is hit in the center field off the bat of Wendy. Routine for Ward out there. He'll make the catch and fire it back in. He lifts his leg and then almost like pauses when it comes back down on the way there and then finishes his motion.
Yeah, I think comparing it to Barkley might be a little overkill. He has a really terrible swing. And as a golfer myself, if I had to give him a lesson, I would have to charge triple or quadruple my regular rate working with that swing.
Fastball over there to short. And unfortunately, Meeker can't come up with it. It was hit very hard. It would have been a very tough play, but if Meeker could pull that down, I have to imagine he would have had plenty of time to at least get that out at second, maybe even that runner at first.
And if those watching at home are interested, Leo, what is that usual rate?
Free. So he would also get a lesson
4
for free.
times, wow. Strike a hard bargain for Barkley.
Yeah, no, I know Barkley has some money, though, so might swipe a few grand off of him. Anyway, Josh Bass now the batter. He stands tall with his hot pink bat.
First pitch in there for a strike.
The delivery falls somewhere between the Barkley hitch golf swing and Johnny Cueto-esque pause where he would turn almost back towards the hitter. Not quite that much, but has plenty of stoppage in his motion.
The 0-1 to Bass is a ball outside. Bass has been moved to catcher, so when the ground slots take the field next inning, Bass will be catching, and also Nieves will be at first to replace Bass.
Speaking of Johnny Cueto and the 2016 Cubs that you mentioned earlier, if I recall correctly, Javier Baez hit a dramatic game-winning solo shot off of him.
Runner going from second. He'll be there easily as the pitch misses away, and Addis will now have to work with runners at the corners.
And that was the only run in a 1-0 thriller in Chicago at Wrigley Field for Game 1 of that 2016 NLDS. Thanks to the basket.
The 2-1. Fouled off to the left side. Bass will now have 2 strikes on him. It's 2-2.
Now, 2016 Cubs, Addis on the mound. You know, the moment that made me believe in magic. I went to a magic show. I was told to think of a noun, I thought of Addison Russell, and he somehow guessed it.
2-2. The pitch.
Isn't that crazy?
Just low.
I just don't believe that. That's crazy.
I
A
thought
noun, Addison Russell, like
no way he's gonna get that right. And what do you know? He said, "Is it Addison Russell?" So now I believe in
That's a
magic.
proper noun, by the way.
Runner on first goes. Bass will foul it off of his ankle, so he'll have to go back to first.
It was a magic show, not an English class, Leo.
Well, he still got it right, so.
It might have just been a word. It may not have been a noun. Nonetheless, my mind was blown.
He was a great piece to that team.
Fastball fouled off to the left side, and Bass stays alive. He doesn't want to go down. Neither does Addis, as he's looking to get him out. Still runners at the corners. The runner from first tried to take second, but Bass fouled it off, and he had to retreat back. He has not tried to steal since. I got to imagine he's on the run here, though. He's not. Off speed this time from Addis. It is fouled off once again. So we're having a vintage battle here between Ken Addis and Josh Bass. Once again, the full count pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate, and Bass had already tossed his bat aside, but I don't think he didn't do it convincingly. I think that might have been he knew it was a strike and he was trying to fish for maybe a ball call, but couldn't get it. It was very much so a strike, though, on the outside part of the plate. A fastball, nice one from Addis, and now he's got 2 outs. That's going to bring up Logan Rosenthal. So it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch to him. Runner on the go. No throw will be made to second, and the runner from third wisely stays near the bag. Does not fall for the fake from Beckman, the blue cap catcher. Is now second and third, so if Rosenthal can hit one in the outfield, they do have some wheels out there at second. They might be able to get 2 out of it. And 0-1 here. Addis goes off speed, almost threw it past his catcher Beckman, but Beckman leaped to his left and was able to make the catch. So now 1-1.
Rosenthal 0 for 2 tonight.
Next pitch to him, the 1-1. Ripped over to second. Routine play. He's got it. Throw to first. And a very clean game thus far for both teams. This one will stay at 2-0, even though they did have runners out there in second and third. Groundswells can't take advantage. So we will go to the bottom of the fourth. Your score, 2-0. You're listening to KCL Baseball on the Normal Corn Belters YouTube page.
Earlier today, Yat Koshik was wearing a normal Corn Belters jersey on the first base side, and now he's wearing brown for the Ground Sloths as his hat falls off. He's warming up for the bottom half of the fourth inning. His Ground Sloths up 2-0, and coming up for the Blue Caps will be Braden Montgomery.
I think the first thing Yat needs to do is invest in a tighter hat. I know from calling a Quincy game in Quincy, me and Leo were on that one, where his hat fell off almost every pitch, and so far during warm-ups, we've seen it happen a couple times. Every time he throws, the hat moves a little bit further to the right side of his head, so maybe switch from the medium large to a small medium Yat.
When you're that tall as Yat stands 6'9" out there on the hill, not sure they have a hat that'll fit his head. You think the issue is it's too big, Braden?
I think it's way too big.
Interesting.
I do.
I would have gone too small.
Well, the hat falls off every time he throws, is what I'm saying.
Too small, it would just squeeze his brain.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think he has to have it that because he does have quite the head of hair. But
Imagine if I had some sort of flow. I just can't get it going with my hair. Anyway, Braden Montgomery, he flew out to left field his first time up. We'll see what he can do this time as Yat fires in a strike on the inside corner.
Yat has a lot of velocity, can really pipe it in there. Does have some nice off-speed too, but does struggle with the command at times. So, but when he's on, I will say he's pretty on it.
The 0-1 lined, and it's a base hit on the left side for Montgomery to start off the bottom of the fourth.
Montgomery was all over that pitch, drives it in the third base shortstop gap over there on the left side of the field, and he was all over it. That one was scorched. I'd like to hear what the exit velocity was on that one because he hit it very well.
The ever-dangerous 5.5 hole.
And it brings up the DH, Caleb Hornbrook. Hornbrook already with the ground out to the left side. Montgomery gets his secondary, and this one is popped up right behind us for strike one. Yat looking to Bass. Bass gives him the signal, and he fires home. This pitch is high. 1-1 count now to Hornbrook. We should get a hat counter going for how many times it falls off. We're at 1.
2.
2? It happened after both
count?
pitches?
Do warm-ups
No.
count? Oh, okay, 1.
No, we're at 1. Here's the 1-1. Oh, that one catches the hands of Hornbrook. And just like that, there's 2 aboard with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth.
Yat left that one arm side. Couldn't quite get his hips through all the way. Leaves his arm out and catches a piece, unfortunately, of the blue cap hitter there. Up and in fastball. He's lucky it didn't catch him more flush.
With runners on first and second, Tice Beckman, who struck out his first time up in the second inning, has a chance to bring in the Blue Caps' first run down 2-0. Yat from the stretch. This one, ugly in the dirt, gets away from Bass. It'll go down as a wild pitch. A wild pitch at that. Now there are 2 runners in scoring position as Montgomery and Hornbrook move over.
That fastball was reminiscent of one of those machines where you're trying to throw it as hard as you can and you wind up and then you end up spiking it. That's what that one looked like.
Probably looked like you, Alex, when you subbed in, according to your story earlier. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's lined and almost catches a piece of a blue cap in the dugout.
I was nowhere near as good of a pitcher as Yats, but it ended up in a similar location, Leo. You're absolutely right.
The 2-0 from Yat. Beckman waggles the bat on his shoulder, lifts it up, and swings at this one. It's fouled away again. Here comes the 2-2. That one gets away. Coming in is Montgomery. He'll come in standing. It's 2-1.
That one really got away that time from Yat, and that was an off-speed pitch. I think he lost it right out of the hand as that one was way behind Tice Beckman. It bounced almost over where the corner of the corn crib backstop turns to the other side. It's just really bad miss, and unfortunately does lead to a run.
Not only did he lose his pitch, he lost his hat, and Nieves had to hand it to him. So that's number 2. This one's low for a ball, full count.
We have to cut Yat some slack. It's been a while since he's thrown an in-game inning, not getting much tick for the Corn Belters, but some of these pitches have not been even remotely close.
They haven't. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Beckman strikes out for the second time tonight, and it's the 4th K of the night charged against the Caps.
I think someone just needs to sit down and work with him because that pitch was beautiful. Inside fastball, put all he could have possibly put into that one and gets a strikeout. He's got the length, he's got the legs, he's got the mobility we know because he's so whippy, but he just needs to sit down with someone, look at his mechanics, and find a way because if he can do that, he can be a really effective pitcher and find himself back up with the Corn Belters.
Josh Eisfelder laces this one over the third baseman. Hornbrook will score, and it's an RBI single for Josh Eisfelder.
Braden, what would be your first tip?
My first tip?
Try and figure out.
Well, I would say he's got the fast movement down. Like, you have to go fast. You have to move fast to throw fast, right? But I would say he's too twitchy, and by the time he goes, and he's coming through, but he's kind of falling off to the left side. You can tell by his hat falling off. I would say try to work more towards the plate and work with – it's almost like a golf swing, right?
Grayson Schnerly now the batter as Eisfelder takes off, and he gets in there safely. Bass with a good throw down to Leighton Gerardis, who was covering on the throw down.
It's kind of like a golf swing because if you don't have – like, you got to have your timing out. 1, 2, 3. And it's just kind of, if you're 1, 2, 3, you lose it. And as you've seen, he's missed a couple arm side, just not mechanically all there. So if he can get his body working in the same pace and do it consistently, he'll be able to find the zone and be really effective because he does have the pitch mix.
The 1-0 from Yat gets away from Bass, but the runner will hold at second. The score's now 2-2. In the bottom half of the 4th, as the Blue Caps tied it up off the bat of Josh Eisfelder. Yat down 2-0 to Schnerly, who struck out his first time up. He looks back at Eisfelder and delivers a ball to home.
So Yat's only collected 1 out and finds himself way behind in this count. The runner at second. We'll see if he even attempts to pitch to him. Kind of having struggles finding the zone in itself, though, so even if he wanted to attack him, it would be difficult for him to do right now. He needs to get on the same page.
The 3-0, the hat flies off, and it's ball 4.
And the hat counter maybe higher than the number of strikes Yat has thrown. He'll get a toss to ground slash manager.
Ooh, that one hurts.
Yat, a great member for the Corn Belters, by the way. This outing, not his finest work, but he's traveled multiple road games, always loud in the dugout, supporting his teammates, a crucial part of the impressive first half run the Corn Belters have made.
That run happened to fall just short today in the 15-7 loss to the Thrillville Thrillbillies. I think I said that right.
5 times fast.
No.
Don't even try.
Thrillville plated 7 runs in the top of the 9th, led by just 1 run going into the inning. Hung a crooked number on the Corn Belters to pull away.
was hard enough yesterday to say the Thrillville hitters or the Thrillbillies hitters and saying some of those stuff. It was hard. It was kind of a tongue twister to try to integrate both. So that was not fun to talk about yesterday.
Luke Martin now the batter with runners on first and second. Here's the first pitch from Yat. As the hat goes flying, he delivers a strike.
But I will say, Braden, the Thrillbillies tried terrifically and tremendously.
Tried terrifically and tremendously.
Executed well today as well.
They did. Big win for them and a tough loss for the Corn Belters.
The 0-1 to Martin. Gets away from him again.
I mean, that wasn't even close.
No, it really wasn't as the runners advanced to second and third.
Well behind him.
It's just frustrating to watch because you can see it, right? Like you can see the potential that he has. It's just nothing's in sync.
No one more frustrated than Bass, who has to keep chasing after these wayward balls. Yet, still time to dial in and find the zone.
2-2 ball game. Eisfelder on third, Schnurley on second. Here's the 1-1 to Martin. That one almost catches a piece of him for ball two. Yat's command has been off, to say the least. Already a hit by pitch and a bases on balls this inning. He's also allowed 2 hits, but he did strike out Beckman in between. Here's the 2-1. Lined right over the first baseman, Nieves. In comes one, and Schnurley will hold. It's 3-2. Blue Caps.
And I think if you're the first baseman there for the ground slots Nieves, you know for a fact you're not going to be able to get a runner. At first, obviously, go out into right field to be the cutoff man for a home, but after you have set in and you're like, okay, we're not able to get the out at home, you got to get back to the bag because you know the throw's going to second. They had him at first if he was standing on the bag, but unfortunately he was nowhere near the bag, so they weren't able to get the runner there, and that would have been a crucial out, and now you have runners at the corners with still one out.
And with Drew Ward, the leadoff hitter, in the right-handed batter's box. Yat delivers. Trips, falls, and the hat comes down to ball one.
Control is not a word I would use to describe Yat's outing so far. The hats, balls to the plates, and now his whole body.
Drew Ward 0 for 2 tonight as he lifts this one behind home plate, and it'll be out of reach.
Blue Caps clearly feel they can steal on Yat, taking off nearly every time once he begins his delivery.
He ended up all the way at home plate as Yat struts back to the mound, and you know what he has to pick up? His hat. Should put like a plaque in front of the mound. Yat's hat or something.
Here lies.
Here's the 1-1 with one away. Martin goes flying towards second. The throw not in time. And Schnurley stays put at third.
I would say put the chalk out there like it's a crime scene. I've seen someone at the major league level, I don't know if it was the Cubs, but somebody fell while running on the base pass, and the next day when the guy showed up at the ballpark, there was an outline of his body with the chalk and the dirt where he had fell. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
We could do that for Yat's hat out there on the mound.
The 1-2 from Yat misses the zone low for ball 2.
He may not find as much amusement, especially if these 2 runs come in as well.
We're at 9, by the way. He's lost his hat 9 times.
It's got to be annoying,
and
right?
has only recorded 1 out.
Wouldn't you want to fix that? Like, I think that would mess with it. You can't get in a groove. You're having to stop to every other pitch to pick up your hat. It's hard to get in a groove and get back on that mound.
The 2-2 lined up the middle, base hit. In comes Schnurley. Martin rounds third. He'll be upstanding as this ball goes to the wall, and Ward hustles for third, and he'll be in safely as well. It's a 2 RBI triple for Drew Ward, and the score is now 5-2.
That ball was hit very hard and very low. Went right on the left side of the second base bag and rolled all the way to the end of that left center wall where the wood turns into chain link fence. And that's going to spark an obvious pitching change.
A night to forget. A day to forget for Yad as the Corn Belters' first half division crown hopes were dashed. And then an outing we'll hope to scrape from his memory.
Yat's day is done after 1/3 of an inning, giving up 5 runs. Only struck out 1. It was Tice Beckman who was the victim. Hit Caleb Hornbrook, walked Grayson Schnurley, gave up singles to Montgomery, Eisfelder, and Martin. And then the 2 RBI triple by Drew Ward. Responsible for all 5 Blue Caps runs here in the bottom of the 4th. And the runner that's 90 feet away. As the Ground Sloths bring in their star pitcher on the left side.
It's going to be Popovich in for the Ground Sloths. As we mentioned on the broadcast the other night, kind of resembles Josh Hader. Has a similar arm slot and definitely a similar look, I would say, with the long hair. I know Josh Hader doesn't really have that long hair anymore, but when he was with the Brewers, an early career with the Astros, did have those long locks. Popovich has a devastating slider and a fastball. He likes to work on the outside with that fastball against the right-handed hitters. Does change with the lefties. He likes to throw the slider, but will go in on the hands at times, but isn't as accurate. It seems like at least on his last outing, it seemed like his approach changed a bit when the different handedness was put into play. But very effective. Did a very nice job the other night. Helped secure the Ground Sloths that big come-from-behind win. Using a black glove. If you guys could customize your own gloves, what do you think? What color scheme would you guys go with? And what brand, if you guys care about that as well?
I had a bright red glove back in my day.
Yeah?
Checks out. No, I'm kidding.
Then, as I grew up, I realized you don't want to be the most noticeable guy. That way, if you make an error, it slides a little bit more under the radar.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't care about that. I have my name on my glove.
Oh, there you go.
I backed it up most of the nights.
Switch to an all-brown glove. If I could do it again, maybe throw a little. I like the baby blue we've seen in the Prospect League a little bit. Or the Blue Cap's a nice color scheme, white and royal blue.
I went with red, white, and blue for my glove. Meeker steps into the plate and takes a pitch inside for strike 1.
My glove when I was pitching at my recent JUCO was their colors. It was black with red accents. But I think if I had to customize a dream glove, it would. I love the blonde look. I love the blonde look of the glove. So I think having a nice blonde glove with maybe the Wilson. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they have with the Wilsons. They have, or maybe no, I think it was Rawlings. Rawlings. They have a specific pitcher's web. It's like a special just for Rawlings. They have kind of. I'll have to show you guys a picture of it. I don't know really how to describe it, but that's probably be mine.
After the swing and the miss, we get a foul ball here to the right side.
That'll be good for radio, Braden.
Meeker down 0-2, has a single earlier tonight.
It's kind of got.
Fouls this one back.
Best way to describe it is it's got kind of Obviously, with the pitchers, you don't want the web because you want to be able to hide the grip, but it kind of has the two pieces are woven together with the strings, but the strings kind of come through in a V alongside of the Rawlings logo in the middle.
The 0-2 misses high from Popovich.
If you guys are interested, look up Rawlings Heart of the Hide pitcher's glove, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Kind of hard to describe.
Let us know in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, if you guys have a glove that you think would be your dream glove, we'd love to hear it.
The 1-2 popped up foul again. Meeker looking to add on to this Blue Caps lead. They were down 2-0 coming into the bottom half of this inning. They've put up 5 so far. Still only 1 away. This one's laced to center. Caught by Rosenthal as he fires it home. Not in time. Ward is safe at home. It's now 6-2. And it'll go down as a sac fly for Griffin Meeker.
Rosenthal did not quite have enough mustard on that one. It was right on target, but unfortunately bounced way too many times, and by the time it had gotten to the home plate catcher Bass, it was going far too slow, and the runner had already scored.
Meeker worked a good at-bat and is able to produce a run out of it as Michael Lucas steps into the right side. He'll flare this one to right. In foul territory, Nieves makes the catch for out number 3.
That is not an easy play to make. Nieves ran it and was able to slow down and catched it while still kind of facing away from the ball. Very nice play from him.
So the Blue Caps put up 6 and lead this game now 6-2 through 4 as they bat through the lineup in the 4th. We'll be back with the Ground Sloths bat in the 5th.
Back at the corn crib, in for Leo Romano will be Oliver Aurora. Call to the bullpen of our own up here in the press box at the corn crib.
Yeah, excited to be here. I had the opportunity to call the Corn Belters game earlier today. Obviously not the result Normal was looking for, but still here at the corn crib, and as Leo steps aside for the inning, I'll take his place.
So Oliver in that past inning, obviously we see Yat, who is going to go to the locker room, it looks like. He's going to take his glove and his weighted balls and make that long trek out to the right center field fence and walk up to the locker room. Oliver, we were talking about it, and we were talking about how much potential Yat is to be an effective arm, especially for the Corn Belters, but it seems like he's just out of sync with his body. What is something you notice about Yat that with his potential, what sparks you as something that maybe he could work on?
I think you mentioned the potential, and that's a great point. He has the size and the velocity, but the location with his pitches was really the struggle there. A lot of times missed the zone wildly and resulted in pass balls and other things hit by pitches. And when he does find the zone, a lot of times it's in a generous spot to hitters. So, yeah, the control's the big thing. I think if he can, obviously not the start to the summer he was looking for, but if he can really hone that down, there's still the second half. A lot of potential there from the big right-hander.
Although on paper it does look like a short season, it is a long one if you're actually in the middle of it. Addis remains on the mound. He throws a fastball. This one's hit in the air to left, and that one is going to fall, and maybe, I think he must have lost it. It gets by. He'll slide in the second. We'll call it a double. I think that's what it's going to get scored as. out there in left field, though. Maybe Lucas, I don't think, saw it. Must have disappeared off the bat.
He either lost it or he's throwing the game, Braden, because that one dropped well far away from his positioning. Definitely lost it. Just a joke.
Yeah, he was
Of course.
nowhere near it.
We're in the time of dusk of night where outfielder's job gets a little bit tougher, especially off the bat.
One of the more nicer nights we've had this week. You can still see the sky, so that's a plus in itself. Ground ball over to first. He's going to take his first. He'll have to hurry a little bit as Dawson was running pretty fast. He wasn't going to be safe, but definitely did make it close, and that'll be the first out in this one. But the runner also advances a third, so now the ground sloths for Tanner Soshanek, who already has an RBI today, is going to have a chance to add another potentially with that runner at third.
Yeah, going back to that runner at third, being able to reach base there. A lot of times with the lights on here at the corn crib and big fly balls like that one that seem towering, they go above the lights, and so it makes it really hard for outfielders, Lucas in this case, to track it.
First pitch to Soshanek. Fooled him a little bit on the off speed. Gets him to check swing. Went a little bit too far, and that'll be strike one. Addis lifts his leg and fires home quickly, working as he gets another strike in there. That one, a fastball inside, moves the count to 0-2. So an 0-2 count here. Really wants that strikeout here. Driven over to right. He's going to not get the strikeout because Soshanek is going to add another RBI single to his night. That is his second of the night. And that increases the ground sloth score even more.
Ground sloths won't go quietly. They're giving up a 6th spot in the bottom of the 4th. Looking to answer in the top of the 5th.
It's now 6-3 here in this one. The lead now sits at 3. Brings up Adon Nieves, who will swing at the first pitch for strike one, 0-1. Soshanek over there at first. Can be a threat to run. We'll see if he runs. Usually you can tell by the body language at times. And he is going to go. Off-speed pitch. Throw down from Bass. It is a great throw, but not in time. And Soshanek will be safe at second, and he'll call time.
Almost slipped through the back there, through the bag, Soshanek, excuse me. On Father's Day, not too long ago, a lot of rain, and we saw that a couple times from Bobcats base runners. Braden and I on the call for that. Almost occurred here. Soshanek, though, able to hold on.
It's one of those games where it just wasn't really beneficial to anybody. As that ball's chopped, foul to the right side, moves the count to 1-2, and Soshanek will have to go back to second. He was going on the pitch. Something we see a lot in the KCL is a lot of steals. Something that the pitchers can work on is maybe switching up their looks. As that pitch is high for another ball. As a runner out there for Soshanek. I know he's from a very respectable Moline Maroons squad out there in Moline, Illinois. And they teach to try and time up the pitcher, count how many seconds it takes him to come home usually. As that ball's ripped over to the left side of the field, it'll get through. Soshanek should score easily. The throw going to second to prevent Nieves from going there, and then goes a little bit high, but the first baseman, luckily Icefelder for the Blue Cats, was there to make the recovery. So another run scores for the ground sloths. As I was saying, though, for Soshanek, and for universally any program, they do teach to count how many seconds it takes for them usually to go home before they steal. So if you see if the pitcher is going on, maybe it's 3 seconds every time. Around 3 seconds, you can count 1, 2, 3, go. And usually you're right. He's running on the first pitch. In there for strike one.
Braden, since you've been mentioning the tactics, I've been trying to time up. Imagining I was a runner over at first. Appears to be 2.4.
That's pretty precise. 2.4.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 0.4.
Drops it off speed pitch, and they're 0-2.
Yeah, back in my heyday when I used to play baseball, I used to do something similar. Speed threat on the base paths. I was dangerous in middle school. Then I got to high school and was no longer a valuable player. Brought me to the baseball booth.
0-2 to Zimmerman. He's going to third. Pitches away, and it's now 1-2. And we continue to see a flurry of steals against Addis. I'd hope that the manager or somebody down there would talk to him about switching his looks up because, as you said, he is going pretty much at the same time every time. So it's really easy to pick for the runners. The 1-2 from Addis. Fastball, ripped foul off the backstop. Addis, his pitch count has got to be higher. We don't have the count with us, but got to imagine Addis with all these pitches he's had to throw, his pitch count is coming up, and Addis is going to call Beckman to walk out to the mound and have a chat with him. Maybe they're talking about what pitch they're going to throw here. Maybe they're not on the same page, but they will get on the same page as they'll take a second to talk things over. They've got it situated, so they'll return to their spots. Zimmerman down 1-2 in the count. There's a runner on third, and there's one out. The score currently sits at 6-3 after a 6-run inning put up by the Blue Caps. That ball's ripped over to second. Routine play. He'll throw over to first, and they'll get the second out, but they do trade the out for a run as the runner over there from third does score. That's yet another run for the ground slots.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Welcome back, Leo.
Just finished a nice pot-belly sandwich. Thank you, Alex.
Buy one, get one free. Better work quick. Those at home, I believe they close at 9. 8:55 right now, so you better hurry.
I think if you walked in right now, if I was a Potbelly's worker, I'd be pretty upset myself. So maybe we advise against that with only 2 minutes left to spare. 4, actually. I can't. Bad eyesight.
Windy takes that one inside as it hops by the catcher Beckman.
Oliver, not a base runner, not great eyesight. What was your go-to when you played ball?
Played fantastic on the bench.
You're probably a great supporter. The 2-0 is in there for strike one.
Nobody's chased a foul ball better than me back in my heyday. I will say that.
You were the designated guy that would go get the foul ball so they went into the stands or over to the next field. You'd be the guy that they sent to get him?
The 2-1 laced into left center. A diving effort from Ward, but he doesn't make the play and he fires it into second. It'll be a double for Windy. It would have been one heck of a play by Ward as he covered nearly 100 feet of turf on that run.
My goodness, that would have been spectacular. I had it ready. The da-na-na, da-na-na.
He's looking like the best center fielder in Major League Baseball out there as he leaped, almost Superman dove to his right. I'll let you guys assume who I'm talking about. There's only one right answer.
I'll fill in the gaps. That was PCA-esque out of Drew Ward. Unable to grab it, but if I had to make a quick assumption, that's a 1% catch probability. So kudos to Ward for being able to get a great jump. Just a little bit unfortunate not to snag that baseball.
One thing I'm surprised about is manager Dave Lingle. I look out there and he's already out there. He seems to be the type of guy that kind of takes his time every time, but this time he was in a hurry to get to that mound because I looked away and looked back and he was already out there. Usually it takes him a while.
Quick feet and his sweet kicks. Those
Nope.
bright green shoes we talked about.
Now he's
earlier.
going to take his time.
Really slow getting back to the bench.
I mean,
Exhausted all his energy on the way out.
Yeah, and it allows time for our home plate umpire to get back behind the plate after a little water break.
ground slots, though, they're knocking at the door. Leighton Gerdes here represents the tying run at the plate. Scoreboard says 6-3, but 6-4 following.
Scoreboard's a little behind
Run.
tonight.
Garrity's the batter. 0 for 2 already.
Wow, another great jump there.
Delayed steal there.
Ground sloths
We'll
have
get
it
in our
figured
bag.
out. 2.4 seconds on the delivery. Take off, easy base.
I can't believe nobody's pointed that out to him. I mean, it's got to be obvious, right?
Here's the 1-0. This one in there for strike 1.
Do you think Lingle addressed that in his mound visit? I wonder.
I don't think so because he hasn't changed it.
Yet to see his pickoff move as well,
No reason to pick off here, though, with the runner at third.
especially as a lefty.
Gertis awaits the 1-1. The windup in the pitch. This ball stroked into left. It gets down. And it's an RBI single from Leighton Gertis to make this a 6-5 ball game.
Got to think if they do have a tip on Addis that they will use it, but it looks like Addis's night is going to be done. So the ground sloths will have to do some more counting, Alex, it sounds like.
We'll have to re-time up the next pitcher as Lingle crosses the foul line and the Blue Caps will head to the bullpen.
That's the fastest I've ever eaten a sandwich. Well, granted, it was half of the sandwich. But I'm typically a slow eater.
What happened to the first half?
Whoa.
6-6, the scoreboard says. Sorry to interrupt the sandwich conversation. Did I miss a fourth runner? Dawson was plated. Soshinek, Zimmerman, or rather Windy scored, right? Just off that double. Should be 6-5, correct? There's my... Yeah, Soshinek came in to score. Dawson came in to score. Did Wagner lead off the inning with a run? And then Windy just now, so does that make it 6-6?
We're having too much fun up in here. I think it is 6-6, actually.
Wow. Okay, tying run from Leighton Gerdes coming through in a big
tying
position.
run. Yeah, Wagner scored after his double to lead things off. Soshinek scored after his single, thanks to a Nieves single. And then Nieves stole second and third, ended up
That's right. Dawson
scoring.
grounded out. Soshinek singled. Nieves
Correct.
singled, stole 2 bases, scored.
Scored on the Zimmerman ground ball. And
Yes.
then Windy doubled and was brought in there. So it's a 6-6
Gotcha.
ball game.
Gotcha. Wow.
Well, that's all right and well, but please, how was the sandwich?
Fair
The
enough.
sandwich was absolutely phenomenal. The perfect amount of turkey. And then you had the lettuce with the mayo and mustard. It hit home perfectly.
I will say,
You
though,
also, 1 second, okay?
excuse me.
We also had the tomatoes and pickles on there.
Wow.
I will say, though, maybe a little overboard on that mayonnaise that I was talking about. Kind of dripped on the other side of the bread. I didn't like that.
I was a little appalled, though, the fact that not toasting your bread, what's up with that? Interesting move by the kid.
Yeah, so it's not the bread itself. I would love the bread to be toasted, but the thing is, right, they put the turkey on first. I guess I could tell them to toast it before they put the turkey on. It might be a little bit of an inconvenience for the workers there. So I kind of considered that. I don't like my turkey that warm on a sub.
Sure.
So I hope we can understand that and we could get through this and past this together.
Yeah.
That's a deep drive from Castellanos into left field.
I was walking into Potbelly today, really excited to try the prime rib steak. Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
And I saw it last time we were there. Was super excited. Walked up to the counter, all confident. Can I get an original prime rib steak on white? And they go, we're out of steak.
No.
Hurts. Definitely hurts.
It does.
Had to get the meatball sub. Didn't hit the spot. A little bit unfortunate. But talk about a spot. Josh Bass here in a big spot to take the lead.
We'll have more sandwich discussion after the game, but there's baseball to play.
Josh Bass, the lefty, standing tall, taking strike 1.
New pitcher in the game for the Blue Caps. Following that pitching change, Patrick Kennedy, the right-hander.
Patrick Kennedy ahead 0-1. This ball laced, gets into left for a base hit. 2 runners on now with 2 gone.
Runner takes off for second, steals the bag, pulling the shortstop. Meeker well over into the hole, covering on the steal. Opens up a huge hole, a single through on the left side.
Gerdes there, stealing on the pitch and was at second base as that ball made its way out of the infield, but took a little bit of a stumble, and with it going to Lucas in left field, I think makes the smart decision to pump the brakes at second.
The first pitch to Rosenthal is a strike.
He was looking to send that one out. That was a mighty swing from Rosenthal. Put all he could into that one.
The 0-1. Gertis takes off for third, and now runners are on the corners.
I think Beckman had more than enough time to throw that back to third, especially because he got it and he looked at first. But I got to say, with running on third, you're not going to throw over to second anyway. So you might as well take the chance, throw to third. No reason to really look at Bass on first.
Right. I thought that was strange, too, as Rosenthal
Especially with two
takes
away.
strike two.
Yeah.
That's a long
I mean, now with the
strike.
runner at third, Bass can probably take second jogging. So why not try to get that lead runner at third? You had more than enough time. I think if you would have threw it, it would have been close, if not out.
The 1-2. Nearly catches a piece of Rosenthal as that curveball runs up inside.
I'm surprised that one missed Rosenthal. Breaking ball at the feet. Hard to get away from him, and I thought it did clip initially, but Rosenthal still there at the plate.
2-2 with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Laced into left center. And rushing over to the ball is Ward for the final out of what was a long top of the 5th. But not before the ground sloths answer back with 4 runs of their own. It's 6-6 going into the bottom of the 5th. For the second inning in a row, Braden Montgomery will lead things off for the Blue Caps in a tie ball game. It's all knotted up at 6 heading into the bottom of the 5th. Kyle Popovich is still the pitcher for the Ground Sloths. After he came in to replace Yat.
Totally different situation here now for the pitcher Popovich now. Totally different than when he was in the last half inning. He, after the 4 spot, makes it 6-6. So he'll look to preserve it now.
Montgomery swings the bat around, rests it on his shoulder, and is ready for the first offering of this at-bat from Popovich, and he fouls this one directly back behind us for strike one.
All over that fastball. Montgomery took a mighty hack at that one. He just missed it, pulled off a lot of that one. If he was able to stay square, he might have been able to get away with that.
Here comes the 0-1 from Popovich. High leg kick, breaking ball that is left upstairs.
And Braden, while the ground loss offense got to work, Popovich stuck in the dugout sitting there. What goes through your head? What are you doing to stay ready as a reliever?
I would say
The 1-1. Stroke to right field. It's a looper. And it's an amazing grab from Nieves at first. An over-the-shoulder catch from the first baseman. What an athletic play to start off the fifth.
that is the second one for him, too, over the shoulder like that. Nieves showing off the leather tonight.
Willie Mays, who?
As I was saying, for Popovich, I would say you can't pay attention a whole lot to the situation, but obviously that creeps into your head. I would say just regardless, just staying locked in, maybe put a sweatshirt on, keep your arm warm, pace around maybe a touch. Just stay focused, especially in a long inning like that where you got to go back out after 4-run score. Just refocus, reassess the situation, and keep the same mentality.
Hornbrook stands in on the right side. He just took ball one low and outside. Popovich, his breaking ball, just missed the zone. Here's the 1-0. This delivery a little too low. Quickly now, Hornbrook ahead 2-0 in the count. Going back to that play, Nieves shows off the glove yet again as Popovich fires one down the middle for strike one. Hornbrook was one of the 6 runs last inning for the Blue Caps after he was hit by a pitch. And now he rolls this one over to the left side. Dawson comes in, fires across the body, and it's in time.
Wow. Another crazy play. Dawson comes in, gloves it. It kind of skipped up a little bit. He did a nice job adjusting, was able to field it and throw across his body on the run. When you take in and out before games, that's the types of plays that you practice, and you do practice it for a reason, for when it happens in the game like that.
Leo's ears perked up when he heard In and Out. Not the burger chain, but
That's a
Ian
bummer,
Field.
isn't it? Man, would I love a trip to the West Coast right now. Get me some good in and out.
East Coast is better.
I was going to say, I will say,
East Coast
from being
In-N-Out.
out there, I'm not a huge In-N-Out fan. I tried it, and everyone talks
It's
so
fine.
highly of it.
The pricing is fantastic. You can't beat it.
Oh,
but
yeah, for sure.
The food itself, it's
Can't
fine.
beat it.
It's
all.
kind of just whatever, right? I didn't get what the hype was. I have buddies that would really disagree, though, that are also out there that are like, oh, no, it's the greatest thing of all time. And I'm just like, I just don't see it. Just don't see it.
What about Whataburger?
I'm more of a Whataburger. See, you get a bigger burger for the same price. That's what I'm thinking. There's a Whataburger next to an In-N-Out. Probably going to Whataburger.
Here's the 1-1. Oh, my
Wow.
gosh. All right, I haven't seen that before. As Popovich completely stumbles and the ball drops a foot behind him.
With nobody on base, what's the ruling there?
It's got to be a ball.
It's just a well. I think since he didn't actually throw the ball, I think it's just a illegal pitch, and I think he just steps back on. If there was a runner on, though, they would have advanced.
And you're right. Here's the 1-1. That one misses just low and outside.
Something similar happened. I can't remember who it was in a major league game that I saw a couple highlights of where that same thing happened, and there also was nobody on base. Unfortunately,
fell
in
over,
that
right?
yeah, in that
Yes,
video,
I've seen
however,
that
though,
video.
they did get hurt.
Oh, I did not see that.
So
The
insult to
2-1.
injury. Not only you have that embarrassing moment where you fall on the mound, but you also obviously have that have that injury too.
For those of you who are still wondering about the baseball, that one was fouled off behind Tice Beckman.
A
to
tie
draw the
game
count
here.
at 2.
Thanks, Alex.
Here's the 2-2. fouled away. We'll do it again. Beckman already 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging in the second and then went out looking in the fourth. The 2-2 from Popovich. In there but low. Full count.
Oliver, you started to say East Coast in and out was better?
No, I said the East Coast. Leo said a trip to the West Coast he would really kill for right now. I'm saying the East Coast is just the better coast. No in and outs over there.
Oliver, you're a little biased when it comes to that, though.
The payoff pitch is roped up the middle. It'll be a base hit for Beckman, his first of the night. The team's 6th hit of the ball game.
Wow, 1-1 USA Turkey.
How far into the game are we on that?
14 minutes. Ardo Guler just
Wow,
scored the
right
equalizer
away.
in the 10th minute.
I gotta say, whenever I watch World Cup soccer, it seems they don't score until the 50th minute half the time.
World Cup is the most electric sporting event there is.
Seconds. First being KCL baseball right here at the Corn Crib.
That's right, as Josh Eisfelder steps into the right side. His first pitch is downstairs for ball 1. The 1-0. Popovich gives the runner on first a look. This one rolled over. The play at first is in time. Ooh. Nice play by the third baseman, Dawson. 4 up, 3 down in the 5th. And that'll do it. 5 innings in the books. We're still all square at 6 apiece at the Corn Crib. Andrew Wagner will lead things off here in the top of the 6th for the Ground Sloths, and a 6-6 ball game here at the Corn Crib. Patrick Kennedy is still the right-hander on the mound. His first offering is a strike.
He's got kind of a wild delivery. Fires it
really,
in there.
He really brings that ball back.
He really does.
His body is... The weight is completely shifted to the back as he fouls that one off for strike 2.
See, the difference, though, between this pitcher and Yat is just the fact that he's got the same type of look, But he's like controlled chaos, right? With Yat, he has to find that controlled chaos, and he can be really effective. This pitcher does a really nice job.
The 0-2 high and inside.
Jinxed him, Brandon. That one
Apparently. Just left it up a little bit. He'll figure it out. He's good.
Almost caught a piece of Wagner, who has 2 hits tonight, halfway to a cycle with a single and a double. And that one knocks him in the helmet.
Since Braden complimented his control in 2 pitches that nearly hit the batter, that one running in and catching him.
Yeah, he lost the last 2 a little bit, left it arm side, obviously, as that one makes contact with the head of the batter there, but he'll take first. But, yeah, just did not get his hips through, not being on top of the ball. The first couple pitches were completely different than the ones we just saw, though, I will say.
What could Dave Lingle possibly be complaining about? That one caught him straight in the helmet.
No shot he's saying that the batter Wagner leaned into that one.
No, I think
it's the bat.
I think he has no clue that hit him in the head.
He's saying that perhaps the sound he heard, that was the clink of the helmet,
I concur with
believes
that.
was the bat.
I don't think a bat can make that noise.
No, it definitely hit him in the head.
Yeah.
To go back to Yat, perhaps part of his issue is he's too tall. There gets to a point where it's harder to keep your body in sync as Yat stands 6'9". Tall guys like myself and Yat, we struggle sometimes with that control of the body.
So you're putting yourself in the same tier as Yat, I hear.
All right. Enough of that. You're not even close to 6'8". Here's Dawson. Dawson had a busy inning in the field in the bottom half of the 5th, and he'll foul that one off. I mean, I have no room to talk. I stand at an amazing 5'9".
Amazing.
I'll take it. Where are my short kings at?
Oh. We have some fireworks on the left side of the field that spooked some spectators here at the corner club, including me.
Yeah, that's probably not allowed here. As Wagner takes off, and he's gunned down. What a throw by Tice Beckman.
That was textbook. The one bounce into second. He was able to put the tag on him. Nice try by the runner to try and avoid the tag, but unfortunately there was nothing he could do.
Bend it like Beckman. Gets the right spin on the bounce, right into the glove. Perfect tag for out number 1.
I like that, Alex.
The 0-2 just misses downstairs for ball 1. Dawson hasn't had the greatest of nights at the plate. 0 for 3 right now. Does have a run. And he laces this one under the glove of Montgomery at third. It'll be a single for Dawson.
Dawson all over that one. Right under the glove of Montgomery. I would have loved to see him come up with it, but it even might have caught a little bit of his leather. I think the baseball changed a little bit of direction as it went through the left side of the infield, but a great piece of hitting.
Fireworks going off there. Just saw one in the car park on the north lot. Down, if you're familiar with the corn crib, in left field, there's that road in the parking lot behind the stadium, right over there. Just saw a couple fireworks go off.
Here's the first pitch to Tanner Sochanek. He lifts this one towards center field, and Ward makes the catch for out number 2. It's been a busy night for Ward. It's the 4th ball he's caught out there this evening. We're still all tied at 6 here in the top half of the 6th. 2 gone, 1 on. Nieves is the batter. Kennedy sets and fires.
Ooh.
A major league pop-up to the left side of this infield. And it drops for a
all that for a foul ball.
base hit, but they're calling it foul.
Nobody touched
I thought the catcher did touch it, and they're going to talk over it.
I don't think he did. But regardless, Montgomery has to know as a third baseman, there is no reason the catcher Beckman should have to go almost all the way to third base to catch a pop fly. Montgomery has to be the one that calls him off in that situation. And that thing results in an out as opposed to a foul ball or maybe a base hit. We'll see what they rule it. It looks like they're going to say it did catch Beckman.
Foul ball. Foul ball. No touch.
Nieves returns to the plate.
Oh.
But you're absolutely right, Braden. A major league pop-up and a minor league error in the field. Not to let the infielder come in and make the easy play.
The 1-1 to Nieves. Curves in there for strike 2. Great placement there by Patrick Kennedy, who's dealing from the right side. Looking to get out of the top half of this 6th inning. Dawson takes off, and they'll let him have second as the 4th pitch of the at-bat results in a ball. 2-2 the count now. Tanner's Nieves lifts this one up to right. It's playable for Schnurley, and he has no trouble with that one. That'll do it for the top half of the 6th. When we come back, the Blue Caps bats will have a chance to take the lead.
Back in normal for a fascinating KCL game, the second half of a doubleheader. Leo Romano painting the picture with Alex Ferens and Braden Hartman doing the color commentary. Oliver Aurora with some fun ad-libs as well.
Hey, thanks.
He was gonna get to you at one point. He was gonna get there.
Nah, because when you say "and," it's
It's like
it
a
implies that it's a
and
conclusion.
him.
Well, it's
Oh,
Leo
so you said
Romano.
and twice. Oh, okay.
Braden Hartman and Alex Ferens. You wouldn't
Okay.
say "and Oliver Aurora." You gotta. That means it's the conclusion.
I see.
Well, I was implying Leo painting the picture for our fans at home, me and Braden providing some analysis, and Oliver, you're here too.
Wow.
He's here.
On that
Just
note,
some
present.
friendly humor for our lovely fans at home.
on that note, I'm Oliver Aurora. Have a good night, KCL baseball. Stream's ending right now.
Are you really about to leave the number one most? What was the way you worded it, Alex? The most.
The first pitch to Schnurley is upstairs for ball 1.
The greatest sporting event? Is that what you said?
In my opinion, this is the greatest active sports we have today, KCL baseball. Some of the most exciting, and does it get better than this? 6-6 in the bottom of the 6. Oh, man.
The 1-1, a big swing and a miss for strike 2.
Oliver, you know I'm only joking. We love having your insight on the broadcast.
Well, some insight for me during the break. Andrew Dawson started in the field, now on the bump for the ground slots. Here, the 1-2.
Fouled back and away.
Over there in the Blue Cap bullpen, we see a left-hander getting loose. So we'll see who that is. Potentially next half inning.
This one grounded right side. Zimmerman will make the play, and Nieves reaches for it. The throw makes it to first in time for out number 1.
It's athletic right there, that play from Nieves. Deep in the hole between first and second, Nieves thought about going for it and then elected to just go cover the bag. And the throw came near his feet. Does a nice job wrapping around and making the catch. Not easy.
Luke Martin now stands in and watches the first pitch go by for a ball.
9:30 local time here at the Corn Crib. It's been a long day of baseball that got started before 11 a.m.
The 1-0 to Martin is in the dirt.
Not this game, of course. That would have been a marathon. The Corn Belters fell to the Thrillville Thrillbillies this morning on Splash Day.
The 2-0 to Martin. A swing and a miss
And I
for
think,
strike 1.
doesn't that unfortunately squander their hopes of winning the Northwest Division, if I'm correct on that?
Does.
It's unfortunate.
The 2-1 catches a piece of the zone on the inside corner for strike 2. 2-2 now the count with one away here in the bottom of the 6th.
Regardless, really good first half, I would say, for the Corn Belters historically.
Belters looking forward to the second half. Resets on Saturday. First, one more matchup in Burlington tomorrow.
Alex Ferens and Oliver Aurora will be on the call as this one's grounded over to third and foul.
And if you're like me, you have KCL circled on your calendar. You can catch another doubleheader tomorrow night right here at the Corn Crib.
We'll be live on YouTube again tomorrow starting at 5 from the Corn Crib as that ball is spiked into the dirt for ball 4. So a runner on now for the Blue Caps with a chance to take the lead heading into the 7th inning. Which, if you're new to KCL, is the final inning of these games. Imagine we get a swing off tonight.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That would be fun. That would be the first one I've seen.
It would be the second as Martin takes off.
Got him.
And he's out. What a throw down by Bass.
Both catchers getting in on the action. Had the one from Beckman last half inning, and Bass getting in on the fun with a throw down of his own.
It's about time. It felt like through the first 5 innings, the base paths had a sign that said open for work. Plenty of stolen bases.
Dawson deals to Ward for strike 1. 1-1 the count now with 2 gone.
Finally, the catcher is striking back, having a say in things.
This one driven deep to left. It has a chance off the wall. And it'll be a stand-up double for Drew Ward. And we were just feet away from a go-ahead home run off the bat of Drew Ward. Instead, he now has a triple and a double.
I thought for sure that ball was very much so gone, but unfortunately it does die somehow at the end. He did get all of it, but hits the top portion of that first ad next to the left field foul pole out there, and man, he just missed that one. It would be hard for him to hit a ball much better than he did on that one, I will say.
Meeker now steps up to the plate. He watches this one go by for ball 1. Meeker, earlier today, Grounded out in his first at-bat, singled his second time up, and then hit a sacrifice fly to tie this ball game. Or excuse me, to go ahead 6-2. So he's responsible for the last run scored by the Blue Caps. Here's the 1-0. Dawson just misses for ball 2.
And if we do see a swing off, it would be no surprise to see Ward's number called. That one just missed getting out.
The 2-0 to Meeker. Ward goes, and no contest down to third. The go-ahead run now just 90 feet away.
Ford has any say in it, though. This one won't go to swing off.
Ward, the runner on third. The 2-1 is fouled back toward us, as Meeker cuts through that one nicely. 2-2 now, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. The windup and the pitch from Dawson sails high and away for ball 3.
Full count here with the runner over there at third to face Meeker. We'll see how he goes.
The payoff pitch, lined into right. This will get down. And digging for 2 is Meeker. Now he's off to third, and he'll slide in safely. It's an RBI triple, and Meeker puts the Blue Caps ahead 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th.
Feels as though this one may have a few more stings in the tail. Blue Caps would love to pick up another run just 90 feet away. This feels far from over.
7-6 now. Michael Lucas steps into the plate, grounds this one to Gerdes at short. Gerdes with a wild throw. It takes Nieves off the bag, and Meeker comes in to score. It's 8-6 now.
Took way too long to field that baseball. He got to it in time, and just by that time, if he made one mistake, he was going to be safe. And unfortunately, couldn't get it out of his glove, and Gerdes is going to probably get an error for that.
Shoots themselves in the foot are the ground sloths, allowing the Blue Caps to double their lead, 8-6 now.
And it brings up Braden Montgomery for the 4th time tonight, as he leaves his blue bat on his shoulder and takes strike 1. The 0-1 lined into center. This will get down. And Lucas digs for third. And he'll get there standing. It's another single for Braden Montgomery, his second of the night, and now there are runners on the corners for Caleb Hornbrook.
All this action taking place with 2 outs, too, so the Blue Caps not ready for this inning to be done. They're still hitting the ball around the ballpark. They find themselves now up 8-6, and now runners at the corners, and we're going to get a visit at the mound. I don't think they're making a change, but he's going to have to refocus because they got to get out of this inning. They don't want to allow too many more runs because they're going to have to score at least 2 already this next half inning.
The Blue Caps a home run away from hitting for a team cycle here in the 6th.
Do they track those, Leo?
No, but I do, because it's rarely done.
Reminds me of a team no-hitter, which personally I don't feel is a very impressive stat. Certainly not in the same realm as a personal no-hitter. I'd class a team cycle in that same category, realm.
Yeah, totally fair. I think it'd be pretty cool. Caleb Hornbrook gets to decide whether or not it happens. He lines this one into center, gets down in front of Rosenthal. In to score is Lucas. And Montgomery safely makes his way to second off the RBI single for Caleb Hornbrook. That makes this a 9-6 ball game.
That is the insurance that we're looking for. Now will find themselves up 3 runs, which is the way that the game's gone. Seems like a mountain.
Braden, did the boys at Sauk Valley ever track team cycles?
Track team cycles. No, I mean, probably. I was never part of that. I kind of stayed towards the outside of the dugout where the pitchers were standing. I was never really in the middle of that, but yeah, I'm probably sure they did.
Dawson with some anger behind that one for strike one.
You ever give up a cycle, Braden?
Like to one person? No. Can't count on the team cycle thing.
The 0-1's chopped foul.
But no, I have never given up a cycle to anybody. Thankfully, that wouldn't have been a very good.
Weren't in the game long enough.
No, I started off as a reliever.
That's crazy.
But then I moved to the starter.
Reliever.
That's not. Why is that crazy? That's not crazy. That's a valid question. But no, in the games I start, I think I can't remember. It just seems like forever ago, to be honest with you.
The 0-2 swung and missed for strike 3. And finally, the ground sloths get out of that, but not before the Blue Caps put up 3 insurance runs. It's 9-6 going into the top of the 7th.
Don't go anywhere. Back in normal, the ground sloths down to their final 3 outs, trailing this one 9-6 to the Blue Caps in the second game of a KCL doubleheader. I'm Alex Ferens alongside Leo Romano, Braden Hartman, and Oliver Aurora.
There you go.
This time the and was properly placed.
Boom. I'm leaving here with something today.
If you're just joining us, this was a 6-6 ball game heading into the bottom of the 6th. And the Blue Caps put up 3 just a moment ago, so it's now 9-6 in favor of the Blue Caps. And looking to close it out is Jack Warner, the tall and mighty lefty.
Ground sloths plated 4 runs back in the 5th. We know their offense is capable.
And it'll be Andrew Zimmerman trying to lead things off. He already has a single tonight as he fouls this one back for strike 1. His single came back in the 4th. He got all the way to 3rd off a stolen base, but never made it home. As that one bounces in and kicks off the catcher, Tice Beckman.
Thought for a second that caught the knob of Zimmerman's bat, but it did just catch the mask of the catcher Beckman.
1-1 the count. Warner gets set and fires and leaves this one high for ball 2. Zimmerman awaits the 2-1. And this pitch is inside for ball 3. It almost grazed his feet. Zimmerman actually went down trying to avoid the baseball.
Acrobatics. He was laying across home plate. Sun has completely left the corn crib. Naturally, we're close to 9:45 p.m.
The 3-1. Swung on. It's a fair ball right over first base. Eisfelder makes a nice play.
That's a big time out there after falling behind that far in the count. You get an out of it. So now with 1 out, that 3-run lead looks even more insurmountable.
Can't get it back all in one swing. Get on base, pass the baton to the guy on deck.
You know what the best way to eat an elephant is? Bit by bit. High school geography teacher told me that. It means that ground slots, just got to get one runner on at a time.
In other words, they got to eat an elephant in the top of the 7th.
Can't say I've ever heard that phrase, ever.
I utilized it earlier today
Okay.
on the broadcast.
This not quite the mountain the Corn Belters faced this
No,
morning.
not at all.
3 runs versus 8.
Joe Clark is the pinch hitter as that one runs inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now with 1 away after the ground out to first off the bat of Andrew Zimmerman. Clark replacing Windy, who was hit by a pitch, flew out to center, and doubled his last time up. And he chops this one foul behind home plate.
Not to sell short the ground sloth's plight here, trailing by 3, down to their final 2 outs. Need to turn a mountain into a molehill.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and fouled yet again. Good at bat here from Joe Clark after not seeing a pitch all night.
Oliver, if I may ask, how did that come up in high school geography?
Wait for this pitch.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Warner punches out Clark for out number 2.
It was sophomore year, AP Human Geography, my teacher, shout out Mr. Sherwin if you're listening to this broadcast, he wrote the exam actually, a master at his craft, and talked about absorbing the material for the AP exam. You can't do it all in one night. He was trying to say you got to eat an elephant bit by bit every day as you continue to learn. Just saying that's resonated with me.
Garrity swings and misses at this first one.
What if I told you, Oliver, I did study for AP US history all in one night?
I did
What would
as well.
Mr. Sherwood say about that?
I studied for all my AP exams in one night, so I don't think it worked too well.
Garrett swings and misses yet again for strike 2. The Blue Caps now 1 out away. 1 strike away, even. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Almost clips Leighton Gertis as it misses him.
All 3 of the first batters in this inning have seen a ball come close to their shoulder and have turned away. It's easy to say up here. I completely recognize that, but lean in, wear one. Get on base.
Especially down 3. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Strike 3, ball game. 9-6 the final. Blue Caps win. Blue Caps win. Blue Caps win.
Who won?
The Blue Caps win.
Thought you were going to break out the duh, Blue Caps win. Thought that's who you're impersonating.
Braden, what stood out to you today?
Today, I would say
Yeah.
that was kind of unfortunate. I think if they didn't have that big, if you give up a big inning like a 6-run inning, it's very hard to win a baseball game, I will say. Sometimes, obviously, the ball bounces in a way for you to still win, but does not quite do that for the ground sloths on the other side. This one ends 9-6, and that 6-run inning is now staring at them in the face, and they know exactly why this game got away from them.
Although the Corn Belters taught us there's only one thing worse than giving up 1 6-run inning. Giving up 2.
They did not do that. So at least this one was fun at the end.
I answered with yet because yet again, unfortunately, he's just seemed to struggle with his command. His hat was flying off, and he was leaving things high and inside to the right-handed batters all night long as he kind of fell off the mound for most of his pitches. And you kind of hit on it earlier, Alex. He has the frame, he has the speed to become one of the better pitchers here at the Corn Crib. But he just has to work on controlling that body of his, and I think that he would make out to be a very good pitcher in a couple of weeks, should he get that under control.
Fantastic sportsmanship seen by the Blue Caps of our own KCL heading into the stands and cleaning the stadium, a task typically reserved for the Corn Crib interns. Very grateful the Blue Caps step in when they play in the KCL, help clean up the stadium. Reminiscent of the Japanese international team for those that do take some time away from the KCL to watch the World Cup. It's part of why they're victorious on the field.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Now that the KCL is over, you can finally turn on the World Cup as the U.S. trails Turkey 2-1.
About to be halftime, though, so you got to wait 15 minutes.
During that.
Oh, then we'll
break.
stick with you for 15 more.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't know if we have
listen
the I don't know if we have
back.
the content to stick with them for 15 more.
There's
You got it.
plenty of KCL highlights for them to go back and listen to if they would like, all found on our normal Corn Belters YouTube page. That'll do it. A long day of baseball at the Corn Crib ends with a Blue Caps victory, 9-6 over the Ground Sloths. That'll do it for Alex Ferens, Leo Romano, Braden Hartman, and Oliver Aurora.
Boom.
See ya tomorrow. Have a good night.